Today we're going to start off on a test review. You guys will do a review today, tomorrow, and then on Wednesday you will have a test. Okay, so solve each system by graphing. We did this, it may feel like forever ago. So when we graph, okay, we graph like this. It goes y equals mx plus b. Okay, what is the b called? Does anybody remember?
Y-intercept?
It is the y-intercept. Okay, and we do this one first. Okay. Okay, and obviously you can use this on your test, so take good notes if you need them. Okay, the m is our slope, our rise over run. Okay, and that's how much we either go up or down, or left or right. Okay, and then the last part of this that most people mess up on, okay, is which ones are negative and which ones are positive. So if it's going this way, okay, it's a positive. If it's going this way, it's a negative line. Okay, so if we look at number one with equation one, where does it start at? At 2. Okay, so we go to the y line and we find the 2 and we put our dot. Okay, from that dot, you're going to do the slope, which is going to be what? What's the slope? 3 over 4. So we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 4. Which way? I need a positive slope.
Right.
To the right 4. Okay. Now, can we go up 3 and over 4 again? No, but we can check the down. So you're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 4 this way. That way our line matches up. If we go this way, we're going to make like a triangle, okay, with our dots. So, like, use some common sense here. Okay, and we can draw our line. Okay, as I've said before, if you're 100% just copying the dots off me and like, oh, she did a dot at 4, 5, okay, you're not going to learn, okay? You need to just count for yourself physically and count for yourself up 3 over 4. That way your brain starts to get it. Okay, line 2, this one, where does it start? At negative 2. So we're going to go to the y line and go find the negative 2 and put our dot. What is my slope?
Negative 1 over 4.
1 over 4. So we're going to go up 1 and over 4, which way? To the left. And again, use some common sense. If we go this way, are the dots going to intersect? No. Okay, so we're going to go up 1 and over 4. And I missed my dot, but that's okay. Where is the dot black and blue on my TV, or this intersection? Okay, we have to do x comma y. What is that intersection?
Negative 1, negative 4.
Close.
Negative 4, negative 1.
Negative 4, negative 1. Okay, so we always start on this x line and see wherever it's gonna like be, and then we look at the y part, which is the up and down one. Okay. Can I scroll? Yes, no? TV, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, number 3. Where does line 1 start? At positive 4. So we're going to go to the y line and put it at positive 4. What is my slope? Negative 3. So we're going to go up 3. Can I go up 3? No, and here's where it gets hard. Okay, so you're going to go down 3 and over how many? 1. 1, 2, 3. Over 1, which way? I need a negative line.
Right.
To the right. Okay, so we're going to go down 3 from the dot. 1, 2, 3, over 1. Down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay, again, on line 1, you have to plot all of the dots until you run out of room. Line 2, how many dots do you have to plot?
2.
At least 2, okay? You may intersect right at 2, it may take you 5, okay? So line 2, you're only gonna make as many dots, until you get that intersection, okay? If you wanna make them all, you can make them all, but you don't have to. Okay, line 2, where does line 2 start out at? -3, so go to the Y line and find your -3 and put a dot. What is the slope? 1/2, so we're gonna go up 1, over 2, which way? To the left, okay? And again, you can clearly see if you go over 2 that way, it is gonna intersect, okay? So we wanna do the bare minimum on line 2. What is that intersection point? What's the intersection point? 2, -2, good. Okay, number 5. 5 through 8 are all substitution, and I can tell you, you'll have one like this and one like number 7. Okay, so I always give you 2 of each type, one for me to do, one for you to do. Okay, I can tell you right now on your test, I'm gonna do one of these and then one below it. Okay, so we can label these equation 1, equation 2. Which one am I gonna circle? Which one do we circle? Equation 2. Why equation 2? Yeah, we're looking for that y equals, and that's how you know you need substitution. Okay, so we're going to circle this one and plug it in to the y above. Okay, and so it's going to look like 5x plus 7y equals, I'm messing up. Instead of y, what am I writing?
9.
Try again.
-9.
-8x minus 9 equals -12. Okay, and then from there, what needs done? Distribute. Okay, so we got 5x. 7 times -8.
-56.
-56x. 7 times -9.
-63.
-63 equals -12. Okay, and then what needs done? The x's, okay? So what is 5 minus 56?
-51. 51x, sorry.
Minus 63 equals -12.
Oh, I literally thought in my head that you said 63 added to the.
Oh, no, slow down.
I was breaking your head, sorry.
I know. Okay, then what needs done? Who needs moved first?
We need to plus
Plus
51.
63.
Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna get -51x equals, what is -12 plus 63? 51? Okay, so 51. Okay, then what needs done? Divide. We're gonna divide both sides by -51. So we're gonna get x equals -1. Okay, now what do I do with that?
now
Yep, we're gonna plug it into the y up here. Okay, so we get y equals Does that say negative 8x? I wrote over mine.
Yeah.
Negative 8x minus 9. Okay, but what variable do we know now? The x. So wherever the x is at, you can erase and put a what instead? A negative 1. So right here should be a negative 1. Okay, and these ones on your calculator, you can just type negative 8 parenthesis negative 1 close parenthesis minus 9. Okay, you can type it exactly the way it looks. Negative 1? Negative 1. Okay, so y is negative 1. Okay, and our last step is to write a coordinate, okay, as x comma y. What is my x?
-1, -1.
Negative 1, negative 1. Okay, here's what I can tell you. When you guys are doing your test, this is probably one of the harder tests, because if you get something wrong up here, what happens to everything below it?
Wrong.
It's wrong, okay? So, I don't necessarily I do look at your answer, okay? But I look at your steps, like, is your math making sense, okay? Did you divide both sides by whatever number was there? Because if it's wrong, I don't feel like that's fair to mark everything wrong after that. If you did all the steps, but you missed, one time you missed a negative, right? That's crazy to me to say minus 10 because you missed a negative, okay? So, make sure that your writing is legible, that way that I can see it and I can go through and be like, okay, they added to both sides, then they divided, they tried to plug it back in, okay? What should your numbers be less than? 10. Okay, so if you're taking your test and your number's over 10, raise your hand. I will come to your desk and look at it, okay? And I'll tell you, hey, something's wrong with this step, okay? And sometimes even when I do that, you guys still can't figure it out, which is fine, okay? If you don't like your test grade, what can you do? Yeah, you can fix the ones that you got wrong, okay? So don't get upset, don't get frustrated, do what you can do, I wanna see what you can do, and then we can fix it. It's not even that deep, it's not that big a deal. This was probably the worst test, okay? Because of this reason, and there's not really steps that I can write you down, okay? Number 7, we're gonna circle our y equals, and we're gonna plug it into the equation above. Okay, so it's gonna look like negative 5x minus 2. Instead of y, what am I writing? 3. Equals 4. Okay, and just like before, we're gonna distribute. So what is negative 2 times 3? Negative 6. Okay, and then what? Okay, and then who needs moved? What needs moved? The 6. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. Okay, so I got negative 5x equals 10. Okay, and then what needs done? Divide by negative 5. And so we're going to get negative 2. What do we do with that? Plug it into the y, except for the y is already solved, yes? Okay, so we can just write it in our coordinate. Negative 2, comma 3. Okay, so elimination, you can tell that they are elimination because there is no y equals. Okay, and I would write yourself a note on here. The one that you see first on your test is where you're going to add the 2 together. Okay, so these ones are both going to be adding. These ones are where you're going to subtract. Okay, so we have our 2 equations and we're going to subtract the 2. Okay, and then the very last one that you will see on your test is gonna be obviously multiplication, okay? So, we are gonna add these two equations together. -5 plus 2 is gonna be -3x. -5 plus 5, what happens? They cancel, okay, they eliminate. Okay, now, if you're like a forget, or you didn't write this down, okay, you know that you're gonna add if you have two of the same number and opposite signs, okay, then they cancel. Okay, and then 20 plus 7 is gonna be 27. Okay, and then I'm gonna divide by -3, and that's gonna give me a -9. Okay, and then what needs done? What do we have to do? Huh?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. Okay, does it matter which equation?
No.
No, you pick one. Which one would you guys like to use?
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so that's 2x plus 5y equals 7. Okay, and what do I already know? The x or the y?
Yes.
The x. So wherever the x is at, we're going to erase it and put a -9, or you can write over it. I don't really care, but... Okay, and so our steps from there are just like substitution. You're going to do your parentheses, and so 2 times -9 is going to be a -18 plus 5y equals 7. Okay, and then what needs done? Add 18 to both sides. Okay, and what is 7 plus 18?
25,
Is it 25?
I think so, yeah.
I don't like it, I think so. Is it 25? Okay, and then what needs done? Divide by 5. And so I'm gonna get y equals 5. And so my coordinate is gonna be -9, comma 5. Okay, 11, we know we're gonna subtract because they're both the same, okay, but they're both, don't have a different sign, okay? And so you're gonna subtract these two equations together. So we're gonna say minus, okay, what is 8 minus 8? 0, okay, and so that's how that cancels. Okay, 8 minus 8, -3 minus 1. Use your calculator. So on the subtraction ones, most definitely use your calculator. -3 minus 1.
-2.
-4. 6 minus -2.
8.
It's gonna be 8.
Wait, how is it 8?
So use your calculator.
No, wait, no, I
I
understand.
not use your calculator. So the times of, I was literally arguing with a parent the other day, and they were like, well, I want my kid to use their brain. I don't know if he's living in the 1950s or what, but last time I checked, all you guys have a phone, yes? You always have a calculator, okay? When I was growing up, everybody was like, you don't need a calculator, use your head, whatever. That's stupid, okay? And they're like, you won't have a calculator your whole life. I got one in my pocket. So, okay, use your calculator. It doesn't hurt, it's just a double check, okay?
It's literally what my last teacher used to say all the time.
Oh god, I hate it when people are like, you don't need a calculator. Yes, you do. You can just check it.
Write out, if we like had division or something, she would make us write out the entire.
That's stupid. You're gonna have a calculator your whole life. Even if you work at McDonald's, you type in a 20 and it does all the change for you. Like, come on. So that's, I'm not saying it's not good to know how to do a little bit of math in your head, but I'm saying even when I do my bills, I can double check it real quick on the little calculator, okay? So, it's a tool. Like, use the dang tool, okay? Okay, so we got 8x minus 2, because that's our y, -2. Okay, I'm gonna add 2 to both sides. Okay, so I got 8x equals 0. And then our last step is gonna be to divide by 8. So I'm gonna get x equals 0. What is my coordinate?
0.
0, -2, good. Okay, on the back, these are all multiplication. You need to multiply one equation. Okay? And if you have to think about it and you can't figure out the multiplication, then that's not the one. Okay, so look at 13. If we were going to cancel the x's, which one is smaller, 10 or 4? 4. 4 times what is 10? Can't do it. So that means that the x's don't cancel. Okay? Look at the y's. What's smaller, 8 or 2? The 2. 2 times what gives me 8? 4. So that means that this one, the smaller one, is the one that gets the times.
So will on the test will directly tell us like you want to multiply this, you want to subtract this, you want to add this.
No.
So
My test looks exactly like this paper. You've been with me all year. You know, it looks exactly like this. I'm telling you what order it will be in. It'll be in the same order. So your first elimination should be addition. The second one will be subtraction. The last one will be multiplication.
Just to make sure in case we forget, how do we like figure out we need multiplication? Because I understand to figure out subtraction.
Because neither of these are the same number. So if you were to add these two equations together, nothing's going to get eliminated here. If you were to add,
okay, so
nothing's gonna get eliminated.
Then it's multiplication.
yes, if it's not eliminated from the gate. Okay. So on this one, we're just going to leave this here. Okay. This one, I just want you to do the multiplication part again. Okay. You just need to figure out what you need to times by. Okay, 15. There's really a -1 right here. Okay, what would you like to cancel, the x's or the y's? The x's. Okay, so what's smaller, 6 or 1? 1. 1 times what gives me 6? 6. So that means that this one is going to get multiplied by 6. Okay, equation 1, is anything changing? No, so we're going to write that down. I got 6x minus 3y equals -12. Equation 2, you're going to multiply every single thing in that parentheses by 6. So 6 times -1 is -6. 6 times 6 is going to be 36. And 6 times 24 is something, I don't know. That's where you come in. 6 times 24.
144.
144?
Yeah.
Did you use a calculator?
No, I
Okay.
did a problem.
Is it 144? Somebody with a calculator? Huh? Okay. Okay, from here, we're going to add these two together. What happens to the 6's?
Cancel out.
They cancel, okay? So, we got -3y plus 36 is going to be 33y. And then a -12 plus 144. What is that? 132?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to divide by 33. And what is that? I don't know. Is it 4?
Yeah, I can't do that fast.
Okay, from there, then this is the important part, you have to plug it into an original equation, so not one of the ones you've written down or edited, you need to plug it into one of these ones, okay? And it doesn't matter which one, but it needs to be one of these ones, okay? So, you wanna do 2?
Yeah. You will always do it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I got -x plus 6, and instead of y, I'm putting a 4 equals 24. Okay, and then I'm at 6 times 4 Okay, so I got negative x plus 24 equals 24.
Oh, wait, it's going wrong.
Okay, and then what needs done?
the 24.
Minus 24 for both sides? Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna get negative x equals 0. Okay, and here's where people mess up. You have to, and in this case, it's not gonna change anything because it's a 0, but if it was like an 8 or a 2 or a 1, literally anything other than a 0. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, x equals 0, right? There is a number in front of that x, and it's a 1, okay? So your very last step on these, a lot of times is sketchy because you do need to divide by negative 1. Now, in this case, it doesn't change anything. Your x is still 0. But if that was an 8, and you wrote down x equals 8, it's really not going to be. It's going to be x equals negative 8, okay? If it was a 4, and you forgot to divide by the 1, you're going to say x equals 4 when it's really a negative 4. You need to divide. Okay, and so our coordinate is 0, comma 4.